Okay. Quick time episode. Yo, welcome to this
Disbanded now, yeah.
But then I get again Halo.
Yo, welcome to today's episode of CandlerCreative My name is Dan Candler, and today's wonderful, creative, spontaneous episode of CandlerCreative we're speaking to Chris Barton, OG podcast flame, and has been in the community for since the very start. Today we are catching up. We're talking about each other's creative endeavors, what we've been up to, and just like we love to do on these creative chats, we go on many philosophical tangents, one of which being about the brain and memory. Haven't really talked about the brain and memory on that kind of level, so yeah, really interesting stuff. But let's kick it off and start today's creative chat with Chris Barton. So cool, let's do it. I'll just do it now. I'll just start now. Juggling so many things.
Hello. Good man.
Hello.
Hey, there we go.
Yo! Digging the setup. Jokes. Oh, you know what? I was gonna like give it some time just to say hello and then just press record and just start. But I just decided I'm gonna leave that intro as the start because
Hello.
that was such a great
Yes,
entrance.
indeed.
Oh, my guy. My guy.
Man, I was actually really hoping you would say today because I was like, you know what? It's like I miss it. It's been a while, and also like I feel like when was the last time we chatted? Was it the plastique shoot? I feel like we've seen each other since then, but I really can't remember.
We sang,
yes. Oh man, I gotta add the finishing touches on that. I've laid it all out,
and
I don't know if you are recording already.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how much I'll leak out to the public yet, but yeah. Anyways,
if the 15 views, if they want to see
15 viewers,
if they want to get a sneak peek,
15 viewers could be Spielberg, could be
it could be, and I think it
Mark
is
Wahlberg, The Rock Johnson. You know, you never know, man.
I think it is. I think I'm expecting my my Dwayne Johnson comment or call within the next week.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely on the way. No, it's cool. No, it's cool. But no. So you've done the finishing touches. To
finishing
the song.
Yeah. So basically, the program I'm using is like, you saw it was like you have the 8 tracks that you can use, and we used, I think, only like 4 or something. So the remaining few, I'm trying to like see if I want to add in little sort of background elements to it, like to like build up suspense and stuff, because the music does that quite a bit. But like I did it in a cappella version that I did on Insta once. But basically, you just add kind of like little sound effects, kind of like, or like, sort of stuff like that, kind of to like build suspense, as like you're like saying, yeah, or like sudden stops and like moments. So I'm trying to debate whether it's worth adding more, but to be honest, sometimes simplicity is key, like just keeping it the way it was. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's good. Like, can you do it in a way where you can play around with it, but then also keep the original, like keep that? Can you make a copy of that and then play around with this copy and then
yeah? So what I think I'll do is, because I've been trying to finish editing another song as well, but what I'll do is I'll turn that one into an MP3. I'll send it to you. So that one's just like the raw uncut version, like not like added on all the other elements, and then we can just like play around with a second version and see how much we want to add, if we want to add it, and then we can just compare the two and go
sick.
off that.
Yeah, cool, exciting stuff, bro. Because for anyone who is watching or listening, me and Chris did a little.
No sense at all.
No, I know. Fairly, for context, for everyone, we did a little duet kind of vibe, singing vibes. Bearing in mind, guys, I haven't sung in about 7 years. well, since college, so since 2016, because in third year I had to do some singing thing, and I think I did like a solo in there. But since then, I've not sung at all. So I was
I couldn't
actually,
believe that when you told me.
I was actually
7 years
really
is mad.
surprised. You know what, bro? I have realized that I am a creative god. No, no. Basically, I've just realized that when I do something creative, it goes in and then it stays there, and then I can literally not do it for years. This has happened on so many different occasions where I've just like done something a couple of times. I've like practiced it and like done all the stuff and like felt like and got to like an average kind of level, and then years down the line I can stay at that exact average level. So like other stuff I'm like a lot better at, but like, so for instance, like even like dance, like yeah, like the stamina and stuff like goes down, and I'm definitely not as clean, and I can't pick up as like choreo as well as I used to, but like I still kind of get the movement and the like it's a visual thing. I look, or it's a visual or like a connective thing. Like I see something, I go, okay, cool.
Well, when you do something for so many years, the sort of imprinted lessons and general way of doing it stays with you, even if you've not done it for a long time. I mean, like I used to play trumpet, and I haven't played now in probably 6-7 years. But now every time, and I leave my trumpet back in Kenya, like at my family's place. But every time I go back for the holidays and I visit them, I always like bust it out and just see like how well I can do. And I can like jump back into like reading sheet music and stuff so easily and like play the songs. And the thing is, you know, like it comes back to you and you remember, but because you've not like kept the practice going, you know, you do sound kind of sloppy. The notes don't sound as wholesome or as like
but it's still there,
full as they used to. But you know, you still like it comes back to you. So it's the same with anything, but the practice is what makes you become like,
yeah,
you know,
I think as well though,
pro,
like
really, you know.
I think as well though, like the more you do different things, the more the more you learn to jump and be a professional, like just off the cuff. Like because you have to, like if you do like throughout my life, I've done so many different things, and then just like tried to get pro at it, been really like focused, like hyper focused, ADHD driven into the thing I'm doing, and then like do it for a year, and then okay, cool, and then that's it. And I did that like the start of my like from childhood to like teenage going into college and stuff. I was doing that every year, something different. I like, you know, even like magic tricks, like stuff with the hands and shit. So now I then bring that into like tutting and stuff and like dance, and then like, you know, even Diablo, I do a different circus trick every year pretty much, and learn something new every year for like 6 years. So you know what I mean, like changing continuously, it allows you to like almost adapt and then just become like pro at adapting and picking something up and going, oh, okay, cool, this is very kind of similar to like this thing I did like 4 years ago. So you like pick it up and then you do it, and then all of a sudden you just have like a lot more kind of skill towards that thing, I think. And I think the more you do, I think the easier things just get to pick up, I guess.
And do you feel like you still remember though, like when you pick up a deck of cards, or you know, like go back to a few of those things? Does it feel like quite fluid and like easy to like get back into, or like you remember it, or is it quite difficult, like you've forgotten some of those things?
No, I think it's pretty easy. I think some things are easier than others. Like say if I've had longer, like you said, like if you practice longer or something, you're obviously going to retain it a lot more. Isn't that crazy how fucking mental our brain is?
Yeah, man.
Like we can
you make, yeah.
We can retain something from like when we were like a kid, and like not do it for years, and then all of a sudden pick it up and be like, oh, okay, I can still fucking do it. You've had
for
like
me, it's
So I was just gonna say, like, say you did it from like when you were 6, and you've had and like I'm 29 now, so that's like I don't even know what that is. It's like what, 15 years or something? 15 to... Fuck, do the maths quickly, Dan.
Yeah.
Quick maths. Anyway, it's a long time. It's a long time, and and then all of a sudden you just like know what the fuck you're doing. Shit, man, we got some shit stored in our brains. I I wonder what it would actually be like.
The connections are crazy, like, and also how hard it is to forget things. For me, it's lyrics for songs. Like my mate we'd be playing a game or something, we'd make a joke, and then I would like spit lyrics based off of the joke he just said. And I would like remember that was a lyric that was said in a song or something. And he would always be like, man, how the heck do you remember those kind of things? But it's just like, for him, though, like that's not something that he could do. But for me, it was like I can remember like a tune or like lyrics so easy. And then it would just pop into my head, and I would remember like every line or like every word to that song. And I was just like, I haven't heard that song since like, I don't know, like high school days. But yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. You know, like we should be able to surely, like if everything's locked in there, like some people are better at remembering certain stuff, some people are remembering certain stuff, but surely we should be able to, all of us should be able to have the power that like each one of us has. Yes, it's at different if it's at different levels, but I'm wondering if it would be too much for us as human beings to be able to almost retain and retain everything. You know what I mean? So we're talking about
like Lucy or something with Scarlett
yeah,
Johansson.
yeah, kind of like Lucy. So like for instance, if you have so there's people who can remember everything, right? That like they remember every single thing within their lives, like to the very brim, but then they probably can't do other things in other areas because their brain power maybe has to like, I just need to give a little bit more thing to this because that's just how I work. What if like you could remember everything within your life, but then you could also like do everything like that you've done? I don't think I explained that very well.
Do everything.
So like I'm remembering stuff, but maybe in a sense they wouldn't be able. So say for instance maybe they couldn't physically remember how to do the thing, but they could remember the things. So what if you could physically remember every single thing that you like? So for instance, you know, from when I was a kid, I've done things from every year. I remember every
you're
single
saying
part.
Like, sorry, say you like did guitar lessons for like 6 years, but that was like 12 years ago, and you haven't picked up a good guitar in like 12 years. You could pick up a guitar and then just be like, okay, hold on,
and just
then
remember
flash
it fluidly.
back and remember.
Because you can remember the time, like these people can remember the times that they did within that thing, but they may not potentially remember the actual rhythm and the strings and the things of how to actually do it. They can remember particular moments, and I think like even they can like, I think people can, you know, they can remember words and stuff like books and like all of that stuff, but I'm wondering whether like it has
specific skills and
like the physical attribute of doing that thing. I wonder if that is I mean, I don't know. I'm literally I've never really met someone who has that kind of IQ.
Well, the thing is, technically, if you did something and you had at some point in your life and you had to remember how to do it for like a test or for like a presentation or something, or like if you went to like guitar lessons, take that for instance, and your teacher was like, oh, you need to come back tomorrow and having learned these 3 chords and play them for me tomorrow. You would have practiced those and like how to like do the frets and everything on the chord style with your fingers, and gone and done that the next day or next week, and your brain will have made some kind of connection. So technically, for most things that you had to like memorize and like make, you know, like how some people do make like not anagrams or something, but it's like PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. In maths, it was like parentheses, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I don't know if you ever learned that, but
what the fuck is Aunt Sally?
PEMDAS? Yeah. But I like those kind of certain things, you know, that you make to like I don't know what they're called. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
not an anagram or something. It's like a you come up with like a phrase or something to help you remember stuff. God, that's gonna annoy me.
Oh,
Anyways,
fucking hell. We do this all. I
Yeah.
swear to God, we do this all the time. Well, I know
Bro,
I
and
do
we're
this all
talking
the
about
fucking...
memory right now.
Yeah, we're
It's like,
talking about memory.
What was that thing called? Something. A synonym. Yes, that one. Yes.
Oh my God, is it synonym? I think is it synonym?
No.
Synonym. No, I'm thinking of synonym.
Synonyms are something different. Anyways, but
thinking-
yeah, if your brain made a connection like that,
Mm.
it is technically stored, and like that connection is somewhere in your brain. You can lose connections in your brain.
Well, completely.
Yeah, like your brain can decide sometimes what information is necessary and what information you don't need or won't be needed. Especially like when you start a career or something that has nothing to do with like maths for example. Like I can't remember how to do so many equations that I spent weeks and weeks and weeks studying how to do back in school. But now I've completely forgotten how to do them because it's like in my career I am never going to need to do that. But also in general life, like I think we're told a lot of crap when we're when we're in school that most people like never need to know in their lives. Like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and then there's like a parentheses, and then it's like cubed, and that's like you do that to determine the ratio area of like I don't know, like
I don't know. You lost me at square, so I don't know.
Bro, honestly, like they teach you so much stuff like that in school, and then you just like anyways, but those kind of connections aren't there anymore. I think for me, because it's just like I'm in a field where I don't need that at all.
I guess interest as well can be linked to it.
Yeah, interest, exactly.
It like pure interest. Like if you, and that must be surely memory then also must be linked to like a spiritual level because like when you feel an energy towards something, if you have an energy towards something, like I love what I'm doing here. When you love what you're doing, there's something more than just doing it. Like there's something within, like whether you think of it spiritually, whether you think of it as chemical reactions or whatever the fuck, something
like,
else is
Soul. Have you watched Soul, the Disney movie? Soul, Pixar,
with the
musician,
jazz,
the jazz musician dude. It's like when you're doing something that is like your thing and you're in the zone, they called it. It's like you enter a cloud nine, sort of like it doesn't become work or anything. It's like it's a flow state. Sorry, keep going.
So I just wonder whether like this flow state can control our memories, because it's like when you have an energy towards something so much, if you surely then that then makes your brain try and make the space for the connections for that thing that your energy and your chemical reaction is trying to go towards. So it then tries to lose the other connections, because I can't fucking remember anything from maths and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
I definitely think so. It's interesting that you said spiritual as well, though. I think that's a whole other topic as well in regards to memory. But also, I wanted to say real quickly, if we could remember everything, I feel like we would also age quicker as humans. Like if we could do what you said and like just recall and be like, okay, hold on, let me just remember how to play guitar. Yep, okay, boom. Or we could remember every interaction we've had, or every like conversation, or like yes, I don't know, something like that. If we could activate like 100% of our brain or something, if that actually was a thing, I feel like we would age far quicker and we wouldn't live as long, because your brain, like think about when you're trying to go to sleep. Have you ever like been on your phone or really been thinking quite a lot, and then before you've gone to bed, and then you've thought, okay, man, it's late, I need to go to bed, and then you're like, okay, I need to sleep, and you just can't, because your brain is like racing, and you can like almost feel your heartbeat still like quite pumping. Have you ever been in that situation before?
Pretty much every night,
bro. For me, it's happened a lot more lately, and I've realized I was like, I need to spend far more time like in the evening cooling down before I go to sleep. Like honestly, like an hour away from just everything, and just try to like meditate before I go to sleep. But I can't do it, man. It's so difficult. I feel like one of my flatmates will be like, oh, you want to play a game, or like, or I'll see a movie I haven't watched yet come up on my feed, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I should watch that.
Well, this is the thing as well, though. That's what I was going to touch on before. Like when we were talking about, what is it like for the brain having, what would it be like for the brain having so much information overload that we're constant, you remember everything, you can do everything, and you can just like, it's Lucy vibes. Don't you think that's actually pretty much what's happening with social media? Like, as in, not just social media, with like the internet. We literally at all times are flicking and looking at information constantly at all times. So we're constantly getting fed all of this different stuff, as well as all the other stuff that we remember. And we would never have that like 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
People would do a thing and they would just sit with that, and they would be bored, and they would have to sit with their boredom and sit with their thoughts and allow their thought process to kind of go on. So I wonder whether
information overload, 100%.
Yeah, so I wonder whether actually you make a good point, whether because I'm pretty sure, I'm going to have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure that our age is depleting. Like the average age is depleting. Like, yes, it's still around 100, but I'm pretty sure it's like,
there's so many factors that go into it, But I mean, our attention capacity and our ability to like focus is definitely reduced. Like it's almost like a goldfish is something like can focus on something for like 6 seconds, I think. And they did a study that was showing, I think it was teens or like teens to like early 30-year-olds, and they were like nowadays, and it was less than a goldfish's because they were like, people are so used to the TikTok trends and Insta, like in Twitter feeds, scrolling. And if you, check your Insta insights, man. Like as people who we kind of need to keep producing content to showcase our creativity and like our work. We check, I know you check your insights sometimes on like content interaction, and you'll see how often like a video that's maybe 30 or 40 seconds long, people will it says the average watch time is like 4 seconds.
Yeah, bro. I've been looking at this,
just
but like, yeah.
How does someone watch a video and in the first 4 seconds think, like, if they're not attention grabbed, they'll skip to the next thing? And it's true, like I'd do that as well. But then it makes you kind of think, it's like, wow, are we so now superficial and like with our idea of dedicating time to something, that unless it is so grabby and like in your face and like, you need to watch this, and you'll see even people on Instagram will be like, stop scrolling, you got to listen to this.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more of that recently. Like,
yeah, so much. Yeah, or they're like the clip art is just like if this is my frame, it'll be like, or something, just to like get people's attention.
Please just watch me.
Like, you have to watch this for 30 seconds.
I've been saying recently,
sorry, quickly, and then it makes you think, like, in our interactions, like you and me, or like anyone you come in contact with, then it's like, are we then doing that with each other? Like you're saying something, and then 4 seconds into it, I'm just like, yeah, okay, check.
Yeah.
Like, okay, sorry, what was that? Like, I've noticed myself doing that sometimes. I'm just like, man, this is not good.
Yeah. That's a really good point, actually.
Even like proper face to face with people.
Yeah.
And you'll just like realize your eyes drift or something, and you're like, shoot, like I need to focus on what this person is saying.
I found that I do that more now because I'm doing this a lot more, and I'm talking on deeper levels, and that's what interests me. I love talking on a deep level, talking about reality, talking about every aspect of the way we live and the way that we operate as human beings and as a universe. So then what I found now is every time I have a conversation with some people and we're just talking about the rain, or just like how their car stopped for like 5 minutes and then started again, I'm like, I can't, like, I'm like, is there anything else than this?
Like, please let me find something else. Like,
it's like,
bro,
I need something
so
to attract, because I get so much in. Like, I have to do so much all the time, and I'm responsible for so many different things now, that it's like, I can't,
unless the time is used wisely. Like, please chat with me about something. Yeah.
And that's exactly
I
it.
get
Like
that.
my time now, like it's like
So
the whole thing. Like
valuable.
time is money, and time is like my life. So it's like if you're not giving me something that is worth my time, I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck.
It
But
makes me feel kind of
it's
cynical. Does it make you feel that way too? Like I'm kind of like, I feel like I should be more into this or like give this person the time, but it's also like you're chatting with me about like the dating apps and the people you're meeting on dating apps, or
yeah.
like I don't know, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't
Or
care
about a conversation you had like a week ago
Yeah.
with a friend who I'm like cool. Like
Yeah. It
was
has
I
nothing to do with the conversation. It just
yeah
kind of remember, like they were like, oh yeah, and by the way, you know,
yeah.
man, it happens to me
But
so
I
often.
think I do want to learn. I do want to try and I have been trying to chill that out though. Like it's such an important skill to listen. And I've learned it so much more from doing these things. Like when we started doing, like I'm pretty sure when we started doing the podcast,
Mm.
like way back when, I would interrupt pretty much every single time because listening is a
Mhm.
fucking skill. Like in order
100%.
to stop your thought processes, to let that person who is talking
Mm.
to finish their sentence, it is a skill. And especially when you're so hyper focused and you have to like you have this energy to let shit out and you just and I think it's the same with like talking to people who may not whose conversation may not interest you as much. I think it's an even bigger skill because you've got to listen to something and you have to almost have a meditation within you and go, okay,
Yeah.
and be bored. And that's what we were talking about before. We can't be bored anymore. None of us can be bored anymore. And because we're constantly trying to fight for this attention thing that we're trying to grab or trying to just
Yeah.
So I think that in itself, I'm going to try, you know what, now I've said that, I'm actually going to try like focus in and listen to people who are talking about just things that may not interest me. And I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and be very conscious of that now because I have noticed recently I'll just be like, yeah.
Well, I would say take it with take it as a give and take thing though. Like I think one thing I've realized, and especially in this conversation, I was like, you know what, like eye contact is a big thing in conversation. It says a lot about someone's intent with a conversation. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Although that's just weird. I find it so weird looking at that.
No, the thing is, most people do. If you're talking with people now, a lot of people cannot keep eye contact. And it says a lot about their confidence. It says a lot about their state of mind. And also like their body positioning, right? And that's a whole other conversation. But it's like you can tell if someone is engaged or listening with their body language or if they're not. And I think you can do that because I mean, man, there are going to be conversations that you have with people where it's just like, man, I don't owe you anything. I've never like we're not friends. We've met today or something, and I don't really need to listen to you chat about the weather at your place in Lancashire for 3 hours, you know, because I don't care. But I don't want to be rude because that's not my character. But also, you know, let's chat about something that's a bit productive, or let's chat about something, whatever. But so you can keep the like, you know, like make it seem as if you're listening, and do try to listen. But that's what I'm trying to do is like keep the eye contact, keep the body language looking good, and you know, actually engaged, because then it makes them feel not like you're sort of fobbing them off, because you know we've all been on the receiving end of that and it doesn't feel great. But also, you know, you don't have to torture yourself with having to sit through conversations that you don't want to be a part of, right? I think we all have that right.
Yeah.
And man, yeah.
Well, there you go. There's another skill to learn, guys.
It's a give and take.
You gotta let's try and split our brains so you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're also you've also switched off, and you're also thinking about Mars or the universe and actual interesting shit that actually affects our lives. And then,
or just like steer the conversation, you know what I mean? I mean, I was on set the other day, and I for some reason was the youngest dude booked for this. We were all. It was supposed to be. We were at we were in Central at the court, like in the court area where they have a deal with like financial court or something, and literally the closest person to my age was probably 30 years older than me.
What?
Maybe like 32, 35 years older than me was the closest age to me. And all of us were in like 3-piece suits, right? Looking like we were lawyers and like, magistrates and stuff coming out of this financial court. And I promise you, most of the people there either like had gray hair or like a cane and were walking around. Like literally some people. I don't know why I was booked for this job, but when I got to set,
Were you wearing those
AD
glasses? Were you wearing those glasses in your photo?
I wasn't wearing the glasses, but like my earrings and stuff, they were fine with me keeping that kind of stuff in. My hair was kind of like a bit disheveled. They didn't even put me through hair and makeup. My beard was looking luscious as ever, but like,
but
bro,
you
they
know
literally...
that you do look like 10 years older than what you actually are, though.
Yeah, but still, like, this is weird. I was there and I was just like, why am I here? I don't look like I should be here.
Yeah, you don't look that much older than
yeah. But it kind of made me think. I was like, do I really look like I should be like in my 60s or 70s? Like, goodness.
Am I 45?
Yeah, it's like some stuff might have to change.
Jokes. But on that side, just quickly, because I know you got a dip. How has all of that been? Like, how has it all been? The acting vibes and all the extra stuff.
Man, this year I think I've heard you say as well. It is dead.
Dead out.
It is so dead.
Yeah, Mr.
Like, apparently, yeah.
No, I was sorry.
My agent. Sorry, real quick. My agent the other day got off a meeting with other it was like an agent community Zoom meeting or something, and she was like, "Guys, it's the industry is something like 66% less jobs out there than usual, and that's like decent acting jobs. And before it was even rare, and now it's like even less because it's like, man, I've only been on maybe." Actually, I can't really count. Maybe I've only been to maybe 5 auditions this year so far, like proper auditions. Maybe like 2 extra open calls, but other than that, I was like, this is April,
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that what I was gonna say before is Mr. Baba de Booze. Shout out to Bobby de Booze. I think what he put, basically, guys, there's like an essay, there's like an essay community group, WhatsApp group.
I remember that.
There are a few of it, like me, Chris, and I think Bobby even ran it, and like a lot. I think there's like maybe 17 to 80 people in there anyway. Bobby put like a video saying about the industry, and I think a week after that there was an email from extra people, the community email newsletter thing, saying like, oh, like there is still work coming, guys, so make sure to update your things. But what Bobby was saying is like, actually, because of these strikes that are happening, all of the work is going back over to America, because that's what the strikes were about, because they weren't getting enough work over there. So it's like now everything is I think it is happening. I think all the productions are getting shifted over to America, which is getting less things here. I mean, which is nuts to think, because I'm pretty sure there's like 2 new big studios being built. So if there's no fucking productions, then what's the point of these studios?
They'll go out of business, man. I can't imagine what they're being used for. Yeah.
Well, no, but there's one near me, like near Enfield, which is like it's huge. Like it's big as Longcross, and they're still building it. So it's like, what are they building it for? Like, we've got like so many studios around the place. Like, I just don't see
BBC, man.
it being...
Maybe I guess they just rented out to BBC Productions then, because that's the only thing that's happening right now, really.
Yeah, but isn't
all the decent long shows, like long running form shows, like I haven't gotten anything like that come through. Everything that comes through now is the one-off, and it's general passerby stuff. You know, when you get those and you're just like, I need the money, but it's like I don't want to just be a random Joe just sipping coffee, walking around in the background.
Yeah.
Like
I've
nowadays,
kind
you
of
can't be picky, you know.
no. Well, this is the thing. If I get something comes through, like on a day that I'm free and stuff, I'll usually accept it. But I just can't be
Otherwise,
bothered to do this whole changing my photo every like couple of
yeah,
weeks
man.
and stuff
Yeah.
anymore. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Mhm.
I look exactly the same that I did 6 months ago.
I hate when they also say like, unless you post something in the next, from the last week, we won't consider you. And it's like, it's not like I'm like some kind of Pokemon that's like continuously like evolving every week. It's like, man, my beard might get trimmed a little bit, but that's it.
Like, I'm pretty sure my passport photo looks exactly the same. I just had it redone. I'm pretty sure it looks exactly the same from 10 years ago. So, well, actually, it doesn't, because I've got like my mantra beads on and I've got like my hair and stuff.
Oh, bro, I saw Soph posted some anniversary stuff for you guys or something, and I was just like, I saw some young photos of you, and I was just like, oh, it just looks like Dan, but just like miniature.
Yeah, it's just me, but with like a smaller face and like
smaller face, like slightly smaller frame. It was just like,
yeah.
It was really fun.
Oh God, what a weedy bastard! I was gonna say another word then, but I thought I stopped myself because I thought maybe that word isn't right for.
I was trying to guess, but yeah.
And then I realized in that moment, I am free to say what I want.
What I want.
I am a
This
free
is
man.
my podcast. We can say what we'd like.
We will say we're free speech. Fuck you, YouTube.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sick. Cool, bro. Cool.
Yeah.
I know you have to.
But man,
I know you have
no.
to,
But also,
dip,
like, how about you, bro? Everything's been all right for you, like work-wise and stuff. I know it's been quite projects and stuff. Been quite busy.
It's been all right. It's been okay. I think telling myself to slow down, and letting myself be okay with that, I think has done a good job. And over the last 3 days, I mean, we'll see if it continues, but I've been doing like just like press ups and sit ups, and I've been eating like at like lunchtime. I've been trying to eat like chicken and broccoli, and then like eating more chicken and stuff at thing, just to
get that protein.
Yeah, get a bit more protein and stuff. Just because, yeah, I've got the wedding coming up in August, and I want to look reasonably okay. And and the last 3 days, like, I felt so much more driven and so much more like healthy, and just like, I don't know, I just had this drive. So I've been writing it in my journal as well, like every time I've done one, to see the progress, because I think the last couple of months have been a shift. It's been an evolution, and it's been a changing time. I don't know whether it's been a changing time for a lot of people, but for me personally, it's felt like a very changing time, and I've just been running with it. And I think now we're going into summer. The seasons have just slightly gone on the other end of changing. So I think things will start to normalize again and get onto that summer drive. So long story short, I think I'm feeling all right.
Man, we need to do some barbecues and stuff this summer, bro. For sure.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
100%.
Barbecues. I think I'm going to try and do like more smaller meetups. So like the meetup we've got on Sunday,
14th. Yeah.
On the 14th of April. I don't even know when this episode's going out, but anyway, on the 14th of April, we've got a community meetup, and it's a lot smaller. Like, not doing loads of stuff. We're doing an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Cool, but it's easy, man. I think doing a lot more of them. I think for a while I lost track of what the real reason of what community is, and I think that's what bringing it back and doing these co-working sessions online, and doing and doing these smaller meetups where it's just getting people together. That is what it's about. And especially after doing these co-working things, like just the sheer support, loving energy and drive, motivation and inspiration that comes from these things, like, is just so sick. And that is what it's about. Like, that's what it's about. That's what community and what about support and all of these different things is about. So I think that's what this changing time has been about. It's been about reconvening what I'm actually here to do. And I think this is what I'm here to do. So
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. Like, I'm like, do you remember when we did your birthday at that bar in Shoreditch? And yeah, we just like had a bunch of people come. We were playing pool, playing darts, just had a few drinks.
Just a bunch of random fucking people who
just a
have no idea
random-
who each
yeah.
other are. They're all in different
But there was
sectors
such
of
a
the
vibe,
world.
man. It was
Like
such
it's
a vibe.
such
I
a
enjoyed
vibe.
it.
There's about an
Yeah.
hour of awkwardness, but if you can get away from that hour of
Couple
awkwardness,
pints in as well.
get
and
a
then
couple
some
of
games of
pints,
pool.
and then the next time you meet,
Different.
you're fucking friends and you're cool, and you can vibe and you can talk about your acting and you can talk about your dancing and accountancy. I don't fucking know, but it's
all those other jobs as well.
all those others. You know what I'm saying? So it's like such a vibe,
Yeah.
and I'm really looking forward to Sunday. There's some new people who I met like the other day when I was shooting this thing who I invited to the community, and they were like on a vibe. She's invited like a load more people. We've got like a quite cool like pub and stuff in Shoreditch that have allowed us to have like the full space like at the back and stuff. So it'll be cool. I'll give some chocolatey prizes out and some free drinks and just have a good time, mate. And that's what it's all
That's
about.
gonna be nice to just see peeps again, see you again, mate.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking
and
forward.
Yeah, same, bro. I'm looking forward to it too. And you know what, man? I've enjoyed this. I know we jumped straight on it. It was a bit quick time thing.
Sorry
but
to make it rushed, man. But yeah, it's always just nice to just chat
it's just
and like
nice,
catch up
man.
with you, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's really nice to catch up and yeah, just get on a little bit of a vibe. So yeah, dope, man. Awesome.
Peace, bro. Hopefully I'll see you on another one soon as well if you wanna do another one.
Yeah, bro. I'm happy. I'm more than happy to do these on the reg, like smaller episodes where we just catch up, bro, and we just talk about shit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't realize.
See if we can get Baz and Kelvin as well. We can get the OG squad.
OG podcast
Power
Flame
Rangers
crew.
unite.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Sweet, isn't that awesome? Well, have a dope day, man. Whatever it is you're
Thanks, man.
doing. And thank you everyone for listening in to another episode of CandlerCreative Chats. Remember to subscribe and all that shit. So cool. Sweet as a nut. Oh, I wish I had some glasses now to do the same.
Yeah. Bro, honestly, this is my whole character now. I could just do so much stuff with glasses.
For anyone who can't see the visuals, Chris just basically looks like a bellend. Okay, cool. Thanks. That's been CandlerCreative Chats. Okay, and bye everyone.